Hello, everybody. This might sound very different than what you guys normally hear about startup story, because this did not start as a business. This did not start as a company. It started as a survival journey. About 2 years ago, I lost my corporate executive job after 21 years. And about 2 weeks later, I lost my marriage in the same month, right before the holidays, November 2023. I was in my rock bottom. I did not know how to move forward. For a month, I was like a zombie. I didn't know that I didn't have a job, I didn't have marriage. A month later, you call it synchronicity, coincidence, or whatever that may be, a friend suddenly reached out after 12 years later, something related to mindfulness. And I thought that as a universe's sign. And then slowly I started practicing mindfulness. When I say mindfulness, not 1 hour meditation, just noticing my breath. When I go out for a walk, notice the blue sky, the green trees. So within a few months, I noticed that something was shifting within me. Even though the outer world looked all chaotic, there was something, some peace I was finding within me. But as life would get busy, I would give up those practice. And I was afraid that I'm going to give up that practice and life will be, in that rock bottom forever. So I started practicing on YouTube, not only because that I had to find a way to survive, to live, because my daughter Alice, she was 7 years old then, now she is 9. I did not want her to go through that same pain that I went through when I was 6 years old. My dad died when I was 6. He had a natural death. But I had a very painful experience from that. And that left a void in me. I am in my 40s now, I still have that void. So I did not want her to go through that experience. So I knew that I have to find an anchor to survive, to live, because I literally wanted to die. So that's when YouTube started. So the YouTube journey taught me a lot. This was over a year ago when I started. Now you can see it's more structure to it. There are 180,000 views, over 1,000 subscribers. And one of the viewers, David, he has actually been from the beginning of this journey. You can read his comments, how he says that our society has so much negative programming. Your message reprograms mind, you're a breath of fresh air. I actually don't know him. He lives somewhere in Midwest. So when I started this YouTube daily journaling, I was not thinking about anything. It was my own survival. Every single day, I turned on my camera, started doing the videos. I was just trying to survive. I was reading lots of books and sharing lots of positive things. And something surprised me. People kept coming back. There was no ads, nothing. People in that similar journey, they kept coming back. They kept commenting. And they shared every single week. They were sharing, even though I didn't say it to share or anything. One particular week, there were 13 shares. I'm like, what's happening? Then I started learning more about the gap that the industry had. So what I learned, not only from my own journey, from many different things, there's a real gap in the self-help industry. Self-help is good. Don't get me wrong, I have been, all the name you can think of, I know all of them. I mean, no, not personally, but I have been studying them for over a decade. So I was like, how do I find myself in this rock bottom, even though I know all of this? What I realized is, in midlife, when you go through divorce, on top of the job loss, like in my situation, self-help teaches you something about mind and body. The inner coach, I call it ignite your inner coach, your own go-to formula. That is how you can do soul level changes. So to tell you what is inner coach, you may have heard the term inner critic. We all know, right? You are not good enough. Inner coach is just the opposite. Your best friend who tells you you are limitless, you can do anything, right? So in midlife, when you have divorce, it's not only about that you are afraid of judgment, because we talk behind closed doors, and I'm trying to help to bring this to mainstream so that people can talk without fear, without judgment. Not only that, you are in such a shame and guilt, you feel like your life is over. I have seen so many people stuck there for years, 8 years, 10 years, 14 years. I met somebody a few months ago. So I felt a bigger calling to do beyond what I was doing. So with this inner coach, in a simple way to tell how the difference is, so when I work with people, or through this, you'll see I have 3 different platforms, YouTube, books, and Meetup. So what I teach people is what worked for me may not work for Mark, may not work for Keith. Why not? Because we lived a very different life. The formula that works for me, my go-to formula and their go-to formula will be different. By working together, we figure out what your formula is that gets you to the joyful situation. We all live in these 2 places, the highest frequency and the lowest frequency. You may have heard people say that your time is the most valuable asset. It's not the time, it's the joyful time, right? Because nobody wants to find more time when they're down here in their frequency. More frustration, more anger, more bitterness, right? So it is that go-to formula, small, medium, large, and you have your go-to formula, small, medium, large solution that you find through Inner Coach. So here's a proof of reinvention before and after video. I'm going to give you guys the handout so you don't have to take a picture or anything. You will see the real life transformation right here. The first video on the left shows a before video where I'm literally crying, trying to survive about a year ago. There are a lot of difficult days like that. And in the after video, which is our most popular playlist on the channel, shows I'm teaching people how to become irresistible in 30 days. And it is about living authentically to yourself first. Because I heard something that every time you say yes for a no, you're building resentment. You don't want to do that. So this is the second one, the books and the journal. This is a real gratitude wall on my house on the left side. I started January 1st, 2024. The sticky note simply says, I'm grateful for the roof over my head, for the blue sky, the green trees. And a lot of them has my daughter's name, Alice, because I'm grateful for her. And she even has some cards. I'm grateful for spaghetti dinner, and she has the squiggly line underneath, like a spaghetti. That would make me laugh. And you can see 3 months ago, I released that as a gratitude journal. And this gratitude journal, 90 days, it's a transformational gratitude journal, a little different than usual gratitude journal. It's designed to take you from shame and guilt all the way to peace, joy, self-love in 90 days. There are a lot of regular orders, group orders, but what inspired me the most, a friend of mine, she said, it inspired to write her own book, and she started writing her book. Oh my God, I mean, this is something beyond I could imagine in my wildest dream in the first 90 days. So it just excites me to think about what more could happen. A trilogy, 3-book trilogy is coming. The first one is Grateful After Goodbye, is releasing later this year. And book 2 and 3 is coming next year. The Grateful After Goodbye has some specific stories about the gratitude cards, some of the gratitude cards and more. Next is the Midlife Reinvention community. This community is very near and dear to me. And Keith is actually from that group. Thank you, Keith, for coming. When I was going through that journey, I really wanted a group like this because I was doing a lot of different things, was going to meet up events and things like that. What I figured is divorce is something it is hard to relate to unless you have gone through it. It's a fire, it's a different kind of fire. It's a different kind of fire that you are walking through. It's a gap that no one can understand. So sometimes people will say things that will make you feel good. Sometimes people will say things that will feel like they're judging you, and next time you are not going to talk about it. So this is a group. Marie, one of our regular members, you can see that she joined an event. She gave this review that this is a great group for transitioning people in midlife. And then she, actually in 2 weeks, there is an event. So if you're interested or anybody else you know could find this group helpful, you can tell them, and they would find this community is all about growth, no judgment, living authentically. It's fully geared towards that. Now, this is not therapy. Therapy is good. I think therapy helps you to process the past and helps you in the present. This is very future focused. We help you to process the past. Think of it 80% as creating about your better future, the future that you always wanted, but you couldn't or you didn't. This is your really a second chance in life to create that. Life is short, my friends. So if you want to create a joyful life, this is all about that. Some people their wounds are fresh. They're at the beginning, some are at the end, some are in the middle, but we all help each other out. And there's a lot more planned next year. So now how you can help, the path forward. Just spread the words about these 3 platforms or just my own journey. How survival became a movement. So many people are finding help, right? And also, the reason why I am focusing on these 3 platforms, I pivoted a little bit. Initially, I was doing coaching. Now I do very selective coaching because this is my 8th startup. Prior ones were all side hustle along with my corporate job. No matter how big your mission is, after a few years, if you don't have revenue, if you don't have the funding, your mission dies. So I'm doubling down on what's working. I'm bootstrapping it now, which means I'm spending my own money. I'm skipping the seed and angel funding and creating some repeatable and scalable model. The engines are already in place for VC funding next year. Right now, 2 models are already generating revenue. It's all about scaling them. But the mission stays intact. This is the whole point. And in a few years, it grows normally. It becomes self-sustaining. But with VC funding, you can have real hockey stick growth, literally like a hockey stick. The future of reinvention, like I was telling you, self-help, it has endless chasing. It is good, but every time life knocks you down to that lower frequency zone, you end up attending a training, a seminar, it costs you money. But once you find your own formula, the inner coach, you ignite your inner coach, your best friend. Because if you're getting coaching from me, even I meet with you once a week. But 6 days you are with your own head, right? And that's how your inner coach helps you. Now, if I work with you directly, it is 3 months. But if you work with this free tool, in 3 months you will see changes. People will see changes in you. In 6 months, you'll be surprised who you have become. And 1 year, you will be a very different person. Some of my friends who have seen me through that journey, they tell me that I have become a different person. So with that, thank you, everybody. And remember, please do share with the people who came to your mind as you were hearing this story. They might be walking in that dark tunnel, and you might be the reason they will get to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So please do consider to share. Thank you. Okay, so question answer.
So can you explain how you actually get revenue from starting with YouTube? I guess I understand from selling books how you get revenue there, but from YouTube and the community.
Right, so YouTube, I haven't made money yet. YouTube, if you know, there is like 4,000 watch hours, 1,000 subscribers, so I met some criteria, not fully yet. YouTube should be there when you are 10,000, so next year, it's projected next year, and then you can also do some partnership and stuff like that when you're 10,000. The books are making money, and my meetups are low-cost, high-value events, so they have $10, but you do get free coffee, so there's a little margin, very little, but that's like, it is also because the quality connection shows up, not somebody who is just 22 years old, nothing bad about them, but it is not the right group for them. It's only a very curated group, yeah. Any type of transition. Right now, the big focus is on divorce because there's a real gap in the market. There are people either doing relationship coaching or career coaching. Nobody is bringing it together the way I am. And what I say is you are the same person showing up at work and at home. And unless you look at it holistically, it's not going to get solved. So right now, I'm focusing big on divorce because there's a real gap. But I also have book event planned, like reinvention after job loss, reinvention after death, loss, that type of thing. So yes, it is for all, but yeah. Sure.
Have you thought about an approach for preventing divorce, like lessons learned, and then targeting that market?
Yes. Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. I actually was talking to somebody here. I won't say for the privacy, but My website has lots of blogs about that, and one of the blog and some of the videos on YouTube, I covered that will be the next big thing. Because even after all of this, so I call it like a step 4 as life, step 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 is the married but unhappy. A lot of people find them there. Even after all of them, I say that try to go back to step 1, which means you are happy in a marriage, right? So if 2 people are willing to work, that is easier. If you're there together for, like in my case, 12 years married, 14 years together, there's a reason why we're there that long. But 2 people have to be committing to do that. If not, then unfortunately you find in step 3, which is the divorce, which is very hard. But if you can survive that, you can get to step 4, which is like, you're living your best life.
Second part to that question, to those that are in the tech executive suites that see the writing on the wall, for them to be able to get out before they get laid off, have you created any sort of strategies for them to start doing it now while they have the income?
Trust me, it is my passion because I was a tech exec, I was a senior director, but that is a field I think right now it is well served. So that's why I'm keeping that as a next thing. But the first thing is divorce market, because right now that place is really underserved, because when I went through, I saw it is underserved. So yes, it is there later, probably after VC funding. Yeah. Anyone else? Erin? Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Thank you, everybody. You have no idea how it feels to me. I mean, I could not have imagined this even in my wildest dream when I started this. I literally have videos outside of the gym. I hope this becomes my survival guide. I hope this becomes somebody else's survival guide, literally outside of the gym in Ashbrook Plaza. Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you.